much you need, tell me what you wanna give, how much blood wish to bleed. I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you want till when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You run to Christ when the breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Till the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Godden with Charles Davis, and before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams, and the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap. Whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Breeze. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 45 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, The second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line because now if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Marcus Sherrill's deep for the Saints. It's taken to the 26. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. I want to revisit New Orleans' season here, Charles, as they come back out for this next drive, because really, although it was 13-3 and another playoff appearance, it was another disappointing playoff loss. That's 3 straight crushing playoff defeats. Minneapolis Miracle with Diggs' catch, the Nickel Roby-Coleman no call, and now this last loss that they had to the Minnesota Vikings. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.